everyone, welcome back to A Gut Feeling, where we talk about all things relating to the gut. And join me today in my kitchen as we make another recipe for the SCD diet. Now, if you don't know what the SCD diet is, I'll have links in the description and a card up here somewhere to a video that I made talking about why I chose the SCD diet in relation to healing my gut. So when you start the specific carbohydrate diet, if you're really bad off, you should really start on the intro diet, which is just a few foods, and then you slowly introduce foods back. And so I'm making a series of videos with different recipes that you can have on the intro diet. And today we're gonna make a healthy Jell-o. It's very easy. I only need 3 ingredients. So the first thing you need 4 cups of juice. And you need to get 100% pure juice, like a grape juice. It's one of the juices that's allowed on the diet, so I would just suggest getting grape juice. You need 2 tablespoons of gelatin. Right now I have this brand, but I would recommend you get a grass-fed brand if you can afford it. And then lastly, you also need 2 tablespoons of honey if you are planning to use the honey. I personally don't prefer honey because the juice is already sweet enough, but if you all prefer honey, you can add honey, and I'll show you how to do that, but I'm not gonna be adding it in this recipe. But let's get started, it's very easy. All right, so here I have a cup, and we're going to dump in a half a cup of juice. And then we're going to go ahead and sprinkle our 2 tablespoons of beef gelatin on that. And I'm going to whisk this together, and we're going to let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes until it blooms. And by the way, I hadn't mentioned earlier, you want to get beef gelatin. So while the beef gelatin is blooming, we're going to heat up the rest of the juice. So it's 3.5 cups of juice that we're going to heat up on the oven. All right, I'm going to add 3.5 cups of juice, 3.5. Medium heat, and we're gonna get this till it's almost boiling, but not quite. Just heat it up, but not boiling. And here's the gelatin. This is completely finished. See how this looks? That's how you want it to look before you add it to the hot mixture. So when the juice is heated up to almost boiling, you remove from heat, and then you add your gelatin mixture. And if you want to add honey, now's the time you mix that in as well, and you dissolve everything. So remember that gelatin is a great food to help heal the damage that's been done to your gut. When you have any kind of severe IBD issues, you often tend to lose a lot of mucus and blood. And gelatin is one way that you can help rebuild that mucus lining in your intestines. So this Jell-o is gonna be healthy and hopefully delicious. Okay, this is really steaming, not quite boiling yet. So I'm going to take this off the burner. Now we're gonna add the gelatin. If you were adding honey, now would be the time to add your 2 tablespoons of honey. So I'm going to whisk this until it dissolves. And then the last step is to pour it into your either a 9x13 or 8x8 pan. It's that easy, and of course, after it's in your pan, you put it into the fridge, which I'm going to do now. So we just let it sit in the fridge until it sets up, which if you have it in a 9x13 pan, it should set up in 2 to 3 hours. If it's a 8x8 where your mixture is going to be thicker, then it's going to take more like 4 or 5 hours. I will show you guys when it is finished and how it looks. But if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. If you're new here, I'd love if you subscribe and follow along on my healing journey, and maybe I can give you some helpful tips that I've learned. But once again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian. Any changes that you want to make to your diet, I would recommend you go and consult your doctor first. All right, it's a couple hours later, and I'm ready to try my Jell-o. Oh, it turned out really nice. I have a confession to make. It's actually the first time I'm making this. I had tried another recipe before that called for a ton of honey, and to me it was just absolutely gross. And it didn't actually firm up very well, but this definitely did. Wow, this is like the first time I've actually made Jell-o that got this firm, or whatever you want to call it. So let's try some. That's really good. It basically tastes like grape juice Jell-o, but it's really good, and I honestly think it's way too sweet the way it is. I would not add honey, in my personal opinion. I bet you could even water this down if you didn't like it quite this sweet. Like do part grape juice, part water. So there you have it, another tasty recipe for your intro phase of the SCD diet. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you in the next video, and I wish you the best of health. Bye.